Imagine a world where you can consume a book, process all its content, and retain almost every detail. Does it sound like a superhuman feat? Well, it might surprise you to learn that there are individuals out there who possess such extraordinary information retention capabilities. However, for most of us, despite consuming a multitude of books, blogs, and newsletters, our recall ability doesn't quite hit the mark. Now, reading books without absorbing and implementing the insights seems rather futile, doesn't it? But it's important to remember that expecting to retain everything might be a tall order for the average individual. Our memory capacities vary greatly. Some of us struggle with memory retention, others have exceptional memories, and a rare few possess eidetic or photographic memories. The average memory is often cluttered, disorganized, and unreliable. We are more likely to remember events that deviate from our typical sensory experiences. For instance, an event as startling as being hit by a ball is more memorable than an intriguing fact from a book. But can we change this? When you read a book, make it a habit to fold pages and jot down notes. Highlight sections that pique your interest. If you're a writer planning to use much of this information, transfer the impactful material onto note cards. Document the thoughts it inspired or the story it tells, then sort these note cards by theme. Essentially, you're creating an external brain that organizes the information gathered from your readings. Remember these 3 key points. 1. Take notes while reading. 2. Revisit and revise notes after finishing the book. 3. Categorize and file notes for future reference. The effectiveness of this system in enhancing our ability to remember what we read is fundamentally linked to how our brain processes information. We have a sorting mechanism that decides what information to store in our explicit memory, a form of long-term memory that involves consciously recalling facts and events. Heuristic memory processing aids this process by prioritizing information that is frequently used, recently used, or likely needed for decision-making. Thus, becoming a proficient learner involves effort, reading, taking notes, studying, and applying the information absorbed. One insight from this process is that memory isn't accidental. It requires a systematic and organized approach to categorizing notes into various buckets, categories, and themes. While it's too soon to determine if this system will enhance long-term memory, it's suspected that memory capabilities will remain modest at best. However, when you implement this system, you can learn something even more significant. It's impossible to remember everything you want to. Therefore, external storage becomes necessary. Whether you choose to continue with this system is a personal decision. While the format may evolve over time, the underlying principle remains the same. The process of reading, retaining, and recalling information is a complex one that requires active engagement and a systematic approach. The 3 key steps, taking notes while reading, revisiting and revising these notes after finishing the book, and categorizing and filing these notes for future reference, serve as a practical guide to enhance our memory retention.